Hi friends, today I am going to tell about Indian Railways. First let me tell you guys the history of Indian Railways. The Indian Railways was started by the UK in 1850 or 1849, we still don't know. But the first goods train ran in 1850 and the first passenger train ran in 1853. It went from Bombay's Boribandar station to Thane and roughly covered a distance of 35 kilometers. When the British left, and even then when the British were there, India started developing in its technology of engines, coaches, goods, etc. And nowadays it has the fourth largest railway network in the world after USA, China and Russia. And also in military, it's the fourth strongest after USA, China and Russia. And also in 2020, it has a track length of 1,26,366 kilometers and had a route length of almost 67,956 kilometers. That is long, and that's why it became the fourth. It has the fourth longest railway network in the world, and it has more than 10 million employees. So that's why India has the most number of railway employees in the world. And there are three types of engines. They are steam, diesel and electric. But steam is not used anymore, but they are still used for tourism operations and only run within a state. And that too is not commercial, only it is for tourism. But there are some exceptions, like the Fairy Queen Express, which is a small luxury train, but it runs only from Delhi to Alwar. Now let's look at the most used locomotives, which are diesel locomotives and electric locomotives. There are a lot of diesel and electric locomotives. I am telling a few of them: WTG4, WDP4, WDP4D, WTG4D, WAG7 and WAP5. What is this WAP, WAP, WAG and WDP and WDG? I'll explain to you guys in a simple and easy way you can understand. First let's start with WDP and WDG. W, D, P. What is W? W means wide gauge, D means diesel, and P is the easiest one to identify. If you know this whole thing, it is passenger. Now, what is WDG? Well, you know what is W and D, and what is G? G means goods. Okay, so now let's look at WAP and WAG. What is WAP? You know what is W and you know what is P. But what is A in the middle? A means AC or air conditioning, and WA and WAG is very easy to identify if you know all these three. It is G means goods, and if you want to again understand these, this is wide gauge and this is air conditioning. But there is one more exception, which is probably W D M. M means mixed type. Mixed type means it both hauls goods and passengers. But we are not focusing on this, so if you focus on only these four, you will get it completely. Just WDM, I just added it for your understanding. Now let me show you the pictures of these locomotives now. This is WDG5. You can identify the number in the front of the cabin. Now what is the number 5? What is the number 4? Let's take WDG5. What is 5? 5 is the horsepower. The horsepower is a unit to measure the power of the engine. So whenever you see this number 5, just think 5,000. If you see 7, think 7,000. If you see 11, think 11,000. And there are no locomotives in India which cross a higher horsepower than 12,000. And who has that 12,000 horsepower? It's WAG-12. It is still not able to work because it's failing in its construction and running. So that's why WAG-11 has the highest horsepower of 11,000 horsepower. Now you know what is this. Now this is WDG-4D. What is again the D? Don't think it's diesel. It's completely different from diesel, guys. D means 500. How do you understand this is 500? It is from the Roman numerals. In Roman numerals, D means 500. So whenever you see D, think of 500. And there are only three exceptions of D's coming in locomotives. There, WDG-4D, as you already know, and WDP-4D, the WDG-4D's cousin, and WDG-3D. So these three locomotives only have D's. So whenever you see D, and if you see 4 and 4D, just add 4,000 with 500 and we get the answer. 3D for WDG-3D, 3,500. That is the way you can understand the name of a locomotive and what is the meaning of that abbreviation. Now, let me show you all of the locomotives, not all of them, only some. This is WDG-5. It is a new locomotive and a close relative to WDG-4. This is WDG-4D. This is WDG-4. Here you can also identify the number below these stripes. And this is WDP-4. This is WDP-4D. No, this is WDP-4D. This is WDP-4D. This is WDG-3A. It comes under Alcos. And is one of the most famous Alcos, or the most famous Alco. These which I'm showing now are electric locomotives. This is WAP-4. This is WAP-5. Just I'm showing this image, but you can't see here. That's I'm going to show you it in another image. This is the aerodynamic WAP-5. This is WAP-7. It is the second fastest locomotive in India after WAP-5. This is WAG-7. There are two types of WAG-7. One is this color and the other is a red and bluish color. And there are also two exceptions of shapes. The one which you see like this, which is like an angle of a triangle, it is a one type. Then this is also one type, and there's another type called the tiger face. Means this face is completely flat, and this is the other WAG-7. This is WAG-9, the most powerful locomotive in 2019, and it's only surpassed by the WAG-11, which I'm going to show it next. This is WAG-11. It has an extra coach back there, so it has extra horsepower. This is WCAM-3. It is not used that much, but it's used sometimes. This is a WAP-5 which I wanted to show you all, because you could not see that other half. It's just this half. You can also sometimes see the shed name over here or on this face. So I'm pausing my video over here, and stay tuned for my next video on Indian Railways. Jai Hind.